Are you listening? Damn.
End of week 2. Still watching the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
With one motivating factor. To watch the Seahawks lose.
Yeah.
And who do we have to depend on for the Seahawks to lose? The Panthers.
Yeah.
There was never no chance, but I held out a small thread of hope. And of course, Cam Newton came through as Cam Newton. Gave it up. In the second half, the Hawks started to roll, and that was over. But then I said, Sunday, Cowboys, 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 Cowboys. Wait, I am not on the Cowboys bandwagon. I know that if the Cowboys win another championship, that puts us in second place, and them and the Steelers ahead of us. No, no, no. I'm looking for a means to a better end. If the Cowboys win, they can go to the Emerald City, and they can beat the Seahawks. I just know they can do it. That's my only motivating factor. But what happens? One officiating call. Des Bryant makes the catch, comes down after 2 strides, mind you, and the ball jiggles around a little bit, but never touches the ground. I know, I'm not going to argue about that. Everybody says, well, even if he made it, the Green Bay Packers were going to come back down the field and score a touchdown or 3 points, which is all it would have taken for them to win anyway. Okay, fine, I've gotten over that. But let me ask you a question. Do you actually think that Aaron Rodgers is going to go in with that bad leg, limp into the Emerald City, and actually beat the Seahawks? The chances are slim and none. And Slim's not going to be issued a ticket to get in the game to begin with. So what are we talking about here? And we're talking about Richard Sherman is going to be, again, being measured for another Super Bowl ring. Saying things like, as he's holding up the trophy, best corner in the game! You know, my fantasy, the next time Richard Sherman starts yelling about how great he is, I'd like to be standing next to him with a beef tongue in my hand. Yeah, I know, you've never seen a beef tongue unless you're from below the Mason-Dixon line or your parents are from the South. This is a beef tongue. Ah, yes, big, thick. You take that, and as soon as Richard starts talking about how great he is, you sort of give him that pimp slap. Okay, we have issues of our own in San Francisco. We don't have a coach, and we just lost one. I jumped into my Cybermobile this week, and I came to you directly to find out your feeling of Jim Harbaugh. Because a lot of people don't like Jim. I'm finding out more and more about that of late. I also wanted to know, of the names being thrown around right now, who do you like as your next head coach? Here's what you had to say. From Southern California, he's in Eugene, Oregon right now. He's a mighty duck that's mighty unhappy. Austin, welcome to the program at Ronbo Sports. So good to have you tonight. As I know what you're going through in Eugene right now, that was not anticipated. The Mighty Ducks have been pounding teams to pieces all years, and all of a sudden, you're running to that buzzsaw, that Ohio State Buckeyes, which I'm kind of shocked because I had no idea the Buckeyes had that kind of prowess.
Yeah, I freaked out, but I think what we all gather from this game, in the past 2 games too, is that Cardale Jones is, he's the real deal. Ohio State had a complete fantasy story, I think, this season. First, their starting quarterback, Braxton Miller, goes down with a shoulder injury, and I think in the offseason. And then their second string quarterback, JT Barrett, who's been, performing really well, lost the game before the Big Ten championship. And then now we have this third string quarterback, Cardale Jones, just step in, shock the college football world, and beating Wisconsin by a huge score, beating Alabama, the number 1 team in the nation, and then beating the number 2 team in the nation, Oregon Ducks.
All right. We got other issues as well. If you're a Ducks fan right now and you're a 49er fan at the same time, what is your world like? We've also got the issue in San Francisco. I want to know really quickly too, what camp are you in as far as Jim Harbaugh leading that? Because I want to establish that first before I get your opinion on the Harbaugh situation. But there's a lot of fans that do not and did not appreciate Jim Harbaugh and are happy that he's leaving San Francisco or has left San Francisco for Michigan. And there are those of us that are wondering, are we going to be able to continue winning football in San Francisco now that Harbaugh is gone? Which camp are you in?
I supported Harbaugh throughout the time he was there. If you look at the resume that he had during his tenure with the 49ers, he brought us to, I think, 2 or 3 NFC championship games, 1 Super Bowl appearance, and he drafted our current quarterback, Colin Kaepernick. Now, what he brought to the table over his years was something that I had never seen a 49er coach, do before. Led the team. All the players loved him. He gave us our current quarterback, who, let's get real here. He needs development. He really needs development after what we saw from this season. But Harbaugh was the kind of coach that brought the excitement on the field. He kind of was like, if you ever watch the Seattle Seahawks, their coach Pete Carroll, he always brings energy on the field. He always is very excited, gets every player pumped up, and the players feed off that energy. And that's something I loved about Harbaugh. He brought energy to the field. He made his players very excited. He made his players want to do better. He motivated his players. I wish him the best in Michigan, but I think it was a big 49ers loss.
Yeah, I agree. I'm in the pro Harbaugh camp too. I'm having arguments with as we label them, haters right now, but that's okay. We're going to see what happens next. Of the choices you've seen so far that could potentially lead the San Francisco 49ers coming up in this next season, are you impressed with any of the names? Now, we've already lost, as we know, to Buffalo. The Ryan man is gone, along with the hated Greg Roman from San Francisco, the OC. Of those names you've seen and heard so far, who do you like the most?
The person that strikes me as the most interesting and best candidate for the 49ers head coaching position would be defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, coordinator under Harbaugh. He has some of the similarities like Harbaugh did. He brought energy, to the players. He made the defensive, linemen very, proud, very happy, to shoot up those gaps and, cause havoc in the pocket. But the thing is that he comes from inside the organization. And I feel like since he becomes inside the organization, he has a better relationship with the players. And with a defensive mind, it would be best because the 49ers have been known for our defense. You think about Patrick Willis, you think about Navarro Bowman, you think about Justin Smith, think about these key players who have been with the 49ers for quite some time. They've made a hallmark on what the 49ers stand for, and that's defense. Even though this season was disappointing with the defense, mainly to do with distractions, probably regarding Harbaugh and injuries, Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman. It was not our season, but I'm hoping if they hire Vic Fangio, our defense will be back on track. Our offense, not too sure. It matters who the offensive coordinator would be. There's a lot of speculation that it would be Adam Gase coming out of the Denver Broncos, which would be perfect. You see what he did with Peyton Manning over his years there. It will be interesting to see what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks because, the 49ers need to make a decision on who they want as a coach.
And now talking to a real San Franciscan, as I said before, we want the opinions of people from San Francisco or 49er fans because who knows more about how to run our team than we do? It's Lucy Lala from San Francisco, California. And as I say, a real San Francisco, not one that's been transplanted like a lot of us have, but Lucy's a real San Franciscan that actually grew up meeting San Francisco 49ers, and that's why she's a fan of this state. Lucy, welcome to Ronbo Sports.
Hi, Ronbo. I appreciate you having me.
No, it's my pleasure to have you. Now, as we were talking about earlier, it's about the two camps. A lot of people are excited about having a new coach and having lost Coach Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
As for me, I'm hearing a lot of things from both camps, and I'm starting having mixed feelings about it. But how do you feel about having lost Coach Jim Harbaugh?
Well, I think it's a bummer. I really don't understand. After going to the Super Bowl, the NFC Championship game, I don't get it. And I just know that we've had numerous coaches before him, and we were always at the bottom, and now here we go. Is this going to happen again? Are we going to be starting from the bottom again? It's just, I don't get it. I really don't. And it's really disheartening because I've seen all the different kind of coaches we've had before him, and we weren't successful. Then he comes along, we're successful for a few seasons, and I'm speechless.
And Lucy, the thing is, in most of our minds that are in the pro Jim Harbaugh camp, it wasn't his fault. There were players out. There were so many reasons why. But you have those who are happy about his exit. Now, Lucy, of the names you've heard, all these coaches, some of these famous people they're candidates now to run the San Francisco 49ers for next season. Do any of them turn you on? Are there any one of them that really attract you and someone you actually feel that can bring the 49ers back to glory?
None. Actually, none. I was afraid for a minute we were going to get Rex Ryan, but I just found out Rex Ryan's going over to the Bills.
Yeah.
And I believe Roman's going over there as the OC. There really isn't any name that impresses me. Definitely don't want the Shanahans. Don't ask me why, but I just, none at all.
Well, I'm really worried the Shanahans are going to be, you know what? It's going to be probably between Vic Fangio. My guess is between Vic Fangio and the Shanahans. They've already told Mike Holmgren goodbye. So it's going to be scary, Lucy.
Oh, you know what? I haven't, really that I didn't know about the Vic Fangio, but if it is Fangio, then
You can live with that?
I could live with that.
All
Because,
right.
he's been with the org, so hopefully, I'm hoping it would be Fangio.
Vicky, everybody loves you, man. More bad news, though. You've heard the latest report, right? The media is saying, coming out of the Fangio camp, Vic will not be returning to the 49ers unless he or Mike Shanahan is appointed as coach. Uh-oh. They're talking about Adam Gase. We may find out about that in the next few days, but if we get Gase, okay, our offense improves, but what about the defense? Worrisome, isn't it? We may find out in the next few days. That'll be the question for next week. Meanwhile, count me down.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the secrets.
Oh, this you crazy mother.